Hello guys, good afternoon and good day sa lahat ng mga nanonood ng mga students ko under PE2. So, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate everyone for passing the midterm exams. Wait lang guys, kasi maingay dito sa labas ng bahay. Kasi nga brown out mainit kaya dito ako sa labas. So, ulit, I would like to congratulate everyone for having a high remarks for some in the midterm examinations and of course for finishing all the topics under preliminary exams and or preliminary period and midterm period. So, we are now in your finals. Malapit-lapit na tayong matapos, malapit-lapit na tayong magpaalam sa isa't isa. So, topics under your finals are flexibility training exercises, which includes yoga and gymnastics. But under these topics, I am not mostly dealing with gymnastics because some of the some of the exercises na may introduce at ipe-perform ninyo later on are exercises under gymnastics na rin. Considered as exercises on basic gymnastics actually. So, ang magpo-focus lang tayo dito ay sa yoga. Aside from the overview of flexibility training exercise, we will focus on yoga in which kasi pag yoga, malayong malayo siya sa gymnastics. Kasi there are things under yoga na wala sa gymnastics. Okay, first and foremost, we now have the flexibility training exercise. Let's start first with the history. How does flexibility training exercise come up? Okay, according to the presentation, the evolvement or the development of flexibility training exercise has its roots in the early 1900s. So how? Paano siya nag-come up during that year? It is because due to the increase of orthopedic cases resulting from World War I. So right after nagkaroon ng World War I, nagkaroon ng maraming cases and in which these are orthopedic cases. Kapag sinabi nating orthopedic cases, these are disorders na usually nag-a-appear sa bones and sa muscles. Yung mga osteoporosis, mga arthritis, ganun. So, this happening got the attention of the public and was heightened in, take note, it is this attention, this kind of disease, this kind of disorder was heightened the attention of the public, in which na-include ito sa 1950s publication of Kraus, I don't know if I pronounce it right, of Kraus and his colleagues together with Hirschland in year 1954, in which they executed some flexibility and muscular training exercises in order for them to come or to overcome those different orthopedic cases resulting from World War I. Now, nowadays, flexibility training exercises proclaim the worth of having proper flexibility training, wherein hindi lang mga PE practitioners ang nagli-lead ng mga activities na to. And if hindi lang mga PE practitioners, there are also other professionals na nagli-lead na ng flexibility training exercise, which includes the coaches of the different sports activities, kasi hindi nawawala ang stretching, ganon. So, stretching is part of flexibility exercise. We have also personal trainers, yun mga yun. Fitness instructors or the PE instructors, just like what I've said. And of course, medical doctors and physical therapists. Why? Kasi, tulad nga ng nabanggit sa history, most of the cases, bakit ito the reason why flexibility training exercises started is because of healing or overcoming those orthopedic cases na nag-appear. So yun yung dahilan. That's why medical doctors and physical therapists also allow and advise these individuals or patients specifically to undergo flexibility training exercise just to overcome this happenings na mangyari. Kasi mahalaga na maalagaan natin ang ating mga muscles at ang ating mga buto. Now, the following review is designed, or those reviews are designed to synthesize information based on past, kasi we based on the history of how does this exercise come out, and the current flexibility research for different practitioners as mentioned above. Now, let's now proceed to what is flexibility exercise. Flexibility exercise is just one of the four types of exercises. And these four types of exercises includes the strength exercise, which was discussed to you during your midterm period. And then, we also have the different exercises under balance and endurance. Hindi lang kasi na-come up, na-tackle ngayon, ngayong SEM na to. But then, for flexibility exercise, just like what I've said, it is one of the exercises na nag-build at nagpro-produce ng ating magandang pangangatawan. In other words, it helps us to become really physically fit. Now, ideally, all those four types of exercises would be included in a healthy workout routine as recommended by the physical activity for adults and the youths. Now, when we say flexibility exercises now, these are exercises that stretches your muscles, and the first objective of having this is to help your body stay flexible from its root word na flexed, meaning it will help your body to stay flexible and of course stronger. Now, these exercises may not improve your endurance or strength, really, kasi hindi naman to nagfo-focus mostly sa pag-improve ng ating endurance and strength, but it focuses on improving the skill related component of your physical fitness, which is flexibility, in which it gives you now more freedom of movement for other exercises as well as your everyday activities. Now, you don't need to do all those flexibility exercises every day. But of course, you may vary the types of exercises you're going to do, applying the principle of tedium. Variety of those exercises will help the body fit and healthy and makes exercise interesting. Kasi nga, to avoid boredom, for you to avoid getting bored on doing that particular exercise, you may vary the exercises. And as applied also to flexibility training exercise, you may also vary different, or you may think of different exercises under flexibility exercise without interfering or going out into your specific goal na maging flexible. Now, flexibility exercise will help you avoid discomfort. Yeah, it is really true. It helps you avoid discomfort when confined in a space for a long period of time, most especially yung mga office workers natin. They are most likely sitting for a for a long duration of time, for whole day, ganon. They're just sitting there. So, for you to overcome that, we must conduct regular flexibility training exercise, maybe pag weekend or during their free times, so that they may lessen the risk of maramdaman nila yung pananakit at pangangawit ng kanilang likuran. So that's why flexibility exercise is very important. Next, okay, we now have yoga. So according to the definition, yoga is a great way to work on your flexibility and strength. Take note that yoga is under the umbrella of flexibility exercise. It is a type of flexibility training exercise. It's not just people who can touch their toes or want to meditate. Meaning to say, it's not yoga is not just about flexibility. It's not just about training for you to become flexible. But tulad ng sabi ko, ang pagkakaiba niya na ngayon sa gymnastics is that it teaches you to meditate, in which you keep your minds being relaxed, and you are being free from stress. Now, some types of yoga exercises are about, just like what I've said, about relaxation. In others, you move more. But most types of those yoga exercises focus on learning poses. Different poses under yoga exercises, in which they call it as asanas. So the different poses under yoga exercises are called asanas. Take note of that. Now, they also usually include attention to breathing. So later on, I will discuss to you kung ano yung proper breathing natin when it comes to having yoga exercises. But before we proceed to what we call breathing in under yoga, let us first have kung ano yung naitutulong ng exercise na to when it comes to the flexibility. Of course, kasi since under siya ng flexibility training exercise. Yoga poses or those asanas work by stretching your muscles. They can help you move better and less stiff or tired. That's the health of yoga in flexibility. Now, take note that at any level of conducting yoga exercises, you'll probably start to notice benefits soon. Hindi mo agad-agad maririp or mararamdaman yung benefits na ma-acquire mo when you do yoga exercises. Because in one study, according to research, or according to studies, people who are doing yoga exercises may improve their flexibility by up to 35% only after 8 weeks of doing yoga. So, hindi siya ganun kadali. Hindi ibig sabihin na nag-yoga ka ng 2 days or nag-yoga ka ng 2 weeks, makikita mo na agad yung changes na malala sa katawan mo or sa flexibility mo. Kasi, it is proven by research that really after 8 weeks mo pa lang makikita yung just the 35% of the development in your flexibility when you do yoga exercises. I hope it's clear for everyone. Now, what about the help of yoga from having a better posture? So, the very first thing na manonotice natin if there is really improvement in our posture when you do yoga is that if you get stronger and flexible right after doing yoga compared to the last assessment mo sa katawan mo, then definitely your posture really improves. Take note that in yoga kasi, most of the activities are standing and sitting poses, and they develop mostly on core strength. And because since you need your core muscles to support and maintain each pose. Since kapag itong abdominal part natin, sila yung nagbibigay sa atin ng control kung ano yung magiging magandang postura natin. So, yoga is somehow related to what is Pilates. In which in Pilates, as a review, they also focus on improving your posture. Now, with a stronger core, you're more likely to sit and stand tall. Yung hindi mo na nafi-feel yung pagkukuba, paninira ng pagpapangit ng posture mo, ganun. Kasi nga malakas-lakas na ang core natin. So definitely na kapag malakas na ang core natin, you may notice quickly that you're slouching and slumping. So from that, from that na nanonotice mo na nag-slouch ka na at nag-slump na yung posture ng katawan mo, you can now adjust your posture kasi nga nag-undergo ka na ng yoga training. So the breathing techniques or the breathing benefits of doing yoga is that yoga usually involves paying attention to your breath on how you breathe, paano tayo huminga when you do exercise. Kasi since kapag yoga, it does not require you a lot of oxygen. So, if yoga involves in paying attention to your breath, in which it can help you to relax, it may also call for specific breathing techniques. Kasi, once na kontrolado ang breathing natin when we do yoga exercises, it may really help us to get relaxed. Kasi nga, there is control in the airways, there is control in the flow of the oxygen inside our body systems. Now, yoga is typically not an aerobic exercise. Kasi kapag aerobic exercise, as a review during your prelim period, aerobic exercise, these are exercises in which it requires you a lot of oxygen, and in which in contrary, yoga does not require you a lot of oxygen. It just require you to control your breathing. Unless it will be an aerobic exercise, yoga will turn into an aerobic exercise unless the type of yoga you're doing is very, very intense. Now, these are the following flexibility guidelines that you must follow before indulging yourself into different exercises under flexibility training. First, you have to assess your client's flexibility in order to pinpoint strengths and weaknesses. So, kailangan mong malaman kung ano yung mga weaknesses mo, kung ano yung mga strong points mo before you do the exercise. Kasi para alam mo kung saan ka magfo-focus at kung ano yung hindi mo masyadong i-focus na exercise. That's the very purpose of assessing first. So after assessing, you are now going to design the contents of your program, the contents of your exercise program that somehow stretches the specific muscles, since we're talking pa rin sa flexibility, used by the clients or by yourselves, of course, since you are the one who will be conducting it later on, during physical activity or sport participation. The third step is that it is very important for everyone to start first warm upping. Warm up before stretching to increase the body temperature and the range of motion. Kasi it might lead to injuries if you do the exercise without having proper warm up. So later on, before I am going to let you perform those different exercises, magkakandak muna tayo ng warm-up exercise. 5-minute warm-up exercise can do. And then after that, you're going to perform stretching exercises daily. Daily siya, take note, daily. But it doesn't mean na daily, whole day ka magte-training. Siguro a portion of 2 hours or 1 hour na nagte-training ka. And then next, you're going to stretch all major muscle groups as well as the opposing muscle groups. So you're not just going to focus kung ano yung major muscle group na na-assess mo na kailangan mong palakasin. Rather, kailangan mo rin i-consider yung iba pang muscle groups, though hindi mo na-assess mo na hindi na sila masyadong kailangan na i-improve. But still, you need to exercise them kasi nga, they still need to maintain kung ano yung level ng flexibility or kung ano yung level ng strength na na-assess mo sa part ng muscle mo na yun. Next thing is that you're going to focus on the muscles involved in the stretch, minimizing the movement of other body parts. Kasi since kapag flexibility exercise yan, hindi masyadong magalaw. Kasi, according to step number 7, you are going to hold a particular activity under flexibility exercise between 15 to 30 seconds. But take note everyone that research suggests that 4 sets of 15 to 20 seconds per stretch will result in optimal gains. So if you really want to reap the optimal gains in having flexibility exercise, you may perform or conduct the flexibility training exercise in 15 to 20 seconds but in 4 sets, meaning to say in 4 repetitions. Next, step number 8, you're going to stretch to the limit of your movement and not to the point of having pain. So if that is the normal thing, if that's the normal thing na nagagawa mo, try to over to reach the limit. Try to kung kaya mong lagpasan yung limit, go. But not to the point of causing yourselves to feel the pain. Now, doing this is referred to as the end point of the stretch. Kasi kung na-reach mo na yung limit mo, hanggang doon lang talaga yung kaya mo. Just like halimbawa kapag gagawin mo yung sit and reach. Kung hanggang saan lang yung kaya mo, meaning to say, yun na yung end point, yun na yung limit. And hindi mo na kinakailangang magpasikat pa para mas ma-reach out mo pa yung napakalayong distance. Kasi it might cause pain into your tendons, usually into your muscles. Now, keep the breathing slow and rhythmical while holding the stretches. Hindi ibig sabihin, halimbawa, nagkakanda ka ng flexibility exercise mo. Halimbawa, kinakandak mo yung lunge and nagka-catch up ka ng breath. Meaning to say, tulad ng sabi ko kanina, there must really control in your breathing. So you just breathe slow with the rhythm, and then while doing the flexibility exercise. So meaning to say, kontrolado pa rin talaga ang paghinga natin. So next is stretch the muscles in various positions, as stretching in different planes may enhance muscle relaxation and may improve overall range of motion at the joint. Next, attempt to relax the target muscle before going into the stretch. So right after involving your body parts or the muscle part of your body in that particular activity or particular flexibility activity, of course, learn to rest for how many seconds siguro. Learn to rest and relax first before indulging again that certain muscle. Next, stretch after vigorous workout and to reduce the potential of delayed onset muscle soreness and to encourage mind and body relaxation. And for the last step, if the stretch yields pain in the joint area, back off the movement and make sure that the stretching technique is correct. So, kapag correct naman talaga ang pagkakandak mo ng technique na yon, ng exercise na yon, there will be no pain. Kung ikaw na student ay masyadong pasikat kasi maaaring nanonood yung crush mo while you are doing the exercise, it might cause you pain talaga. Next, it might be necessary to try another position or different stretching exercise for the target muscles. But, kung ganun talaga yung mangyari, that there is really pain, and that kailangan mong mag-back off, you may think of another exercise or you may change the direction or the position of that flexibility exercise in order for you in order for you to reach the goal in that target muscle na gusto mong i-improve. Now, these are the precautions for doing flexibility activities. These precautions are usually done para maiwasan natin yung pagkakaroon ng injuries while doing flexibility activities. Now, being more physically active can help you feel better, deal with stress more easily, and handle day-to-day activities more comfortably. Now, to get the best results, it's important to understand how to exercise safely. Kaya siya precautions. How to exercise safely so you don't injure yourself. First, stretching and reaching activities help promote safe and healthy joints and muscles. Now, here are some precautions that you must keep in mind when you're doing activities that involve stretching and reaching, like yoga, pilates, as mentioned kanina, an exercise, yung mga tai chi, ganun, mga gymnastics activities. So, these are the precautions that you may do. First, you're going to use correct stretching techniques and try to move smoothly. So every time na i-perform mo yung mga activities under flexibility training, you try to move and conduct and perform it as smooth as you can. Kasi it will lessen the risk of acquiring injuries kapag smooth lang ang pag-conduct. Of course, dapat correct yung pag-conduct, correct yung pag-perform mo. If you're not sure with the activity na pina-perform mo, you may ask for your teacher, you may ask for your instructor, or you may ask any exercise professionals on how to do or perform that accurately. Next, don't force a joint beyond comfortable range of motion. Tulad ng sabi ko kanina, kung hanggang saan lang yung limit na kaya ng joint mo, doon lang siya. Huwag mong pipilitin na abutin ang hindi mo kayang abutin in reaching and in stretching. Huwag mong pilitin i-bend kung hindi mo kayang i-bend. That's that's one big important rule in having flexibility exercise. And of course, you're going to do a brief warm-up. A 5-minute warm-up can do, just like activities on which you're going to prepare yourself sa mga stretching, tulad ng light walks, mga ganon. Those are considered as warm-ups. Mga head rotations, mga ganon. Next, stretch in a slow and relaxed way. Tulad ng sabi kanina sa number 1, you do the activity as smooth as you can. Avoid bouncing or jerking. It is very important. Everything na ginagawa mo sa exercises na yon, every flexibility training exercise, you pay attention and do it seriously. Avoid having jokes. Next, stretch to the point of tightness, but avoid extreme discomfort. And last, remember to continue to breathe normally, kasi kaakibat ng pag-conduct ng exercise na to is dapat kontrolado natin ang breathing natin ng maayos. In which kapag pina-perform mo ang activities na to, you are not going to hold your breath. So those are the different precautions na maaaring may advise sa inyo before and during conducting the flexibility training exercises. So I think I'm done with my presentation, and you're now ready to do the different exercises under flexibility training exercise. So before that, let us have first your 5-minute warm-up.